Hare Krishna. Welcome to Morning Amritvani program. His Grace Rupavilas Prabhuji will be giving his transcendental words of wisdom. His Grace Ram Kripa Prabhuji will be reading the Namamrita, followed by Srila Prabhupada quote, followed by Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Thereafter, Her Grace Sadhu Sivani Mataji will be reciting the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Welcome to everyone once again. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ही डिवाइन गेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ही उल्लेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। ही उल्लेस भक्ति आश्रय वैष्णव स्वामी महाराज की जय। ही शिक्षा गुरु रूप विलास प्रभु की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। Sri Namamrita, the nectar of the holy name. Worshippers of impersonalists are guilty of the offense of blaspheming the Vedic literature. By describing one of the offenses against the chanting of the holy names, an offense called Sruti Shastra Nindana, blaspheming the Vedic literature. Jiva Goswami states in his Bhakti Sandarbha, Yatha यथा पसंद मार्गेण दत्तात्रेय सभा देवोपासकनम pasandinam. Worshippers of impersonalists like Dattatreya are also pasandis. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 18.115. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada quote, 12th January. A brahmachari is good for living a life of celibacy, but a person who can live a life of celibacy in the presence of a beautiful and obliging wife is more than a brahmachari. Hare Krishna, letter to Hansa Duta, January 12, 1968. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. The National Week has begun. The memories of Jallianwala Bagh and political serfdom no longer trouble us, but our trouble is far from being at an end. In the dispensation of providence, mankind cannot have any rest. If one kind of trouble goes, another quickly follows. India, politically free, is faced with difficulties no less lesson than those that troubled us under the Foreign Rule 45. Abhay seized on this editorial reflection as proof of the basic defect of all worldly plans for amelioration. He pointed out that although the India had been subjugated by foreign rulers since the time of Muhammad Ghori, AD 1050, India prior to that had never been subjugated. In those days, India had been a good God-conscious nation. It was when India's leaders had abandoned their spiritual heritage that India had fallen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Bhagavad Gita 17.18 Satkaramana pujartham tapodambena chaivayat kriyate tad iha proktam rajasam chalam adruvam. Translation. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor prominent. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.14.36 Ekada munayaste tu sarasvat salila apluta hutvangim satakathas chakrur Upavisthasarittate. Translation. Once upon a time, the same saintly persons, after taking their bath in the river Saraswati, began to perform their daily duties by offering oblations into the sacrificial fires. After this, sitting on the bank of the river, they began to talk about the transcendental person and his pastimes. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela 5.96. Pratimanaha tumi sakshat Vrajendra Nandana Vipralagi kara tumi akarya karana. Translation. My dear Lord, you are not a statue, you are directly the son of Maharaj Nanda. Now, for the sake of the old Brahmana, you can do something you have never done before. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Radharas Bihari Bhagavan ki jai. Lalita Sakhi Vishakha Mata ki jai. Giriraj Govardhan Maharaj ki jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Gaurang Nitai Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Morning chanting program ki jai. We are very, very fortunate that we have the basis of the Shastra. Here, specifically the Mayavadis or the the Nirakarvadis, Mayavadis, they consider the Lord to be impersonal. They consider that we and the Lord are one and the same. They take the Shastra according to their convenience. They do not take the whole Shastra as one. We know the sar of the entire Shastra is Srimad Bhagavatam. And the conclusion of Bhagavatam, they also try to misinterpret. And that's why we should be very careful with such type of people. And they say that there are 5 types of devatas we should worship. But ultimately, Lord is impersonal. Krishna has come from impersonal and taken a spiritual, material body. So that's why we have to be very, very careful when we come in contact with such type of people who blaspheme Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, or they try to interpret the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. I'll give you an example which Srila Prabhupada gives, that Dr. Radhakrishna, he was the vice president of India first, and he was an impersonalist. When he gave the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam aveshyase yuktveva matmanam matparayanam. Then what did he told? He told that Krishna is not the God. Manmana means that the inside Krishna there is some God, so Lord is telling to worship him. This way they try to use their position to spread the impersonalism in the name of the Shastra. And this is called Shastra Ninda. So we should be very careful, and we ourselves should never do any Ninda of Vaishnavas as well as the Shastra. Hare Krishna. Very nicely, Prabhupada is saying, yes, brahmachari is good. First of all, we should understand the principle. Sex life, there is no place for sex life in spiritual life. Because we being the spirit soul, we all are at one platform of service and love to the Lord. There is no question of sense enjoyment in spiritual life. And that's why a person who can live like a brahmachari in a housewife, with a housewife, is much greater than a brahmachari. We may be politically free, Prabhupada is saying, but the troubles have not finished. Because this is Tukhalai, and there are different types of trouble which are coming. Very nicely, Prabhupada is saying, India, before Muhammad Ghori came in the year 1050, prior to that, India was never conquered, and India had been a God consciousness nation. The only problem is that when we leave the Lord outside and when we try to become more and more materialistic, we are more subjected to suffering. One type of problem had gone, India is now facing another type of problem. Maybe we're political free, but the problems were already there. Before even the English went, the problems are there. They have looted and there is a lot of problem. That is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. And these problems will not be solved unless and until the people are not made God consciousness. Hare Krishna. One thing we should be very proud of being connected with Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON is that this entire movement, being Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, we are trying to revive the spiritual consciousness by spreading the message of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and trying to one by one, make houses into a spiritual place where Lord is the center. And that is what should be the mission of each and everybody who is connected with ISKCON, providing bhakti to everybody. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, tapa, if yesterday we did the tapa, that if it is done causelessly, without any intention and out of duty, then that is sattvic. But when any tapasya which you do for gaining respect, honor, and worship, and with some swarth, then that comes in Rajoguna, that tapasya. And it is neither stable or permanent. Now, the position, the scene set changes in Srimad Bhagavatam, where the saintly person are performing their morning sadhana, bhajana, and they were talking about the transcendental, pastimes. One thing is that Vena is killed, his body is there, but at the same time, there is lawlessness in the society, and this they will be experiencing when they are doing this bhajana, and they start thinking how this lawlessness we can solve out, and that way they tried to do the manthan of the Venus body. In CC, we again and again say this is not a marriage proposal story. It is the seva bhava of the young Brahmana to protect the Brahmana from getting Vaishnava aparadha, because he is also a nice devotee, the senior Brahmana, and to protect the senior Brahmana from the fall down. The younger Brahmana is requesting the Lord to do what he has not done in any time, to walk with him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare